So hello, Team Heart. It is week 44. Can you believe that? There's 52 in a year, so that means we've only got 8 or maybe even 7 to go. That's quite scary. So guys, welcome. It is so awesome to have you, and I hope you guys have had a good weekend. Wasn't Rachel awesome on Saturday? So if you haven't seen the presentation, or if you're looking for the recording, I did put it up this afternoon, so you can go and grab it. Guys, I'm going to share my screen, but before I do so, I want to say that we've had some feedback that we need to cut the training a little bit shorter, that the announcements are maybe too long. So thank you so much for the feedback. Please keep it coming, because we always want to make sure we're spot on with what you guys want. So I'm going to fly through the announcements really quick, and then I'm going to hand over to Beck, and she's going to share today with us how to launch and land your day. I'm excited. I can't wait to hear that. So let me share my screen and we'll hop straight into this. I'm assuming you guys can see my screen, so give me a yell if you can't, but welcome, as I said, to week 44. And this is me and my family. If we haven't met yet, my name is Charlotte Venter. Isn't that a cute photo? We just had this done at Leader Academy in Sydney. So my hubby Andre of 25 years, my son Brandon and his girlfriend Kristen, and then Robin, our daughter, and her girlfriend Grace. And I'm a Pro 7 with Team Heart. Love, love, love this business. Love all of our distributors, and just am so taken by the passion and purpose each one has. It's so different. So welcome to all of our new distributors, guys. We're growing rapidly. We're adding 50, 60, 70 new distributors every month into our business. And it's just exciting. And tonight, of course, we've got in Melbourne a new event, and there's 120 guests there, of which I'm pretty sure at least 40% of them are going to join our business, from what I've heard. So super exciting time. So welcome to Team Heart. And this team, everyone matters. And we don't just say that, we really do mean it. So we want to give you a voice to speak, and share what it is that you need, what you need help with, and also how we can get better as a team. So please let us know. So just very quickly, it's the welcome. We're going to have a quick look at some upcoming events, some announcements that are important for you to know, incentives, and our team training. So just as a reminder, if you want to know what events are coming up, we have this Facebook page, LifeVantage Australia events. And guys, pretty much every single event is put on there. So please keep having a look at that page. Make yourself aware of what's happening. Next week, actually this Sunday, we're launching Canberra. Woohoo! First time ever for LifeVantage in Canberra. And then on the 17th of November, we're in Perth, just to do a relaunch again of Perth. And then, of course, we've got Dr. Fifi. She is our head of research and development for LifeVantage. She's going to be coming out to Australia, and we're going to be doing a tour in Sydney, Brisbane, and Melbourne at this stage. So please go and have a look on there. You'll see what events are coming up, and the important ones for you to note are this weekend, Canberra, then in Perth on the 17th. And guys, I want you to give me a clap for my skills. Do you like my Chinese flyer? Isn't that cool? So I actually got it translated. I sent it to Pam. Pam sent it off to Fiona Ho, who's coming out, and they translated it. So look at this. You can print these Chinese flyers, guys, and go hand them out to Chinese people. They can now read it in their own language. How cool is that? So just a little side note, if you don't know what the flyer is for, well, just have a look at the address, right? Because the address will tell you where it is. So this is the Brisbane Chinese event that you can see here. If you go and have a look on that LifeVantage Australia events page, you'll see it says in English Brisbane Chinese event. And so this flyer just tees up with that event. So if you're not sure, because I don't know how many of us can read Chinese, but just look at the address, that's still in English. So 2 incentives we have running at the moment, guys. One is our brand new Australia Success Conference. You started qualifying from this month, October, right through to the end of May next year. So every single one of our team has a tremendous opportunity to come to this seminar. I've seen where it's going to be in Manly Beach. It's out of this world. They're planning such amazing stuff for us, so you don't want to miss that one. And of course, we've got the Bahamas running. It's been running since April, finishes the end of January. There are so many of you that are so close, and you can make it. So please keep pushing hard. If you need help and you want a strategy, you want to brainstorm on how can you get those last 1,000 points, please don't leave it. Contact one of your leaders and we can help you brainstorm that. A couple of super important announcements. So guys, it's month end. Make sure you have personally put through at least an order of 40 PV, 40 points, that's one little pro tandem, and make sure your total PV is at least 100 or 200 so that you can earn the full commission. 200 for full commission, 100 for 30% of our commission, right? PCs, can you enroll PCs online? Isn't that cool? So you know how we had to do the form and then send it through to customer service? Don't have to do that anymore. I have put up the instructions in our team page, so go and search for it there. But it's basically go onto au.lifevantage.com, click on join us, follow this procedure, and when it comes to who's the sponsor and the placement ID, you put in the PC's ID that's enrolling. That's the sponsor. So it's super awesome. I've tested it, it worked, and that's just so much easier for us now. So PCs can enroll PCs again online. Our company return policy has been updated and changed. So if you look in the policies and procedures of the what's in our back office, it says that after or before 30 days, product can be returned provided it's unopened. Well, that's been changed. Now even opened product will be refunded 100% within the first 30 days if somebody no longer wants it. So that's a great selling point for you guys. You know, when somebody's sitting on the fence, just say, you know what, give it a go. We do give a 30-day money-back guarantee. Please note the postage, shipping costs won't be refunded. It's just the product cost. Then if you've been dying to get a presentation that's just easy for you to use when you present and scripts easy, I hope you've seen, again, we've put it up in the team page last week. We have now finalized a brilliant Australia presentation. The PowerPoints are there for you. The scripts are there word for word. Please, guys, take hold of this, present. The people presenting are the people that are building their business, and they're the people that will definitely become leaders and rank. So make sure you learn how to present. Change the words to be in your own language. You don't have to sound like a parrot, but it's just to give you an idea of what to say. So it's all in there. There's a product only one, and then there's a product and business ones combined. Always try and keep your product only one to 20 minutes max, and the business and product we're keeping at about 30 minutes max. So guys, last announcement is that the Chinese market is going to be opening soon. So the announcement is being made this weekend in Orlando of the exact procedures to follow. It is not a network marketing model. It is a direct sales model, very different system. But we will have all the information for you by next week. What I can tell you so far is that you have to be a Pro 3 or more to be able to bring in a distributor in China. You also need to be approved to do so. So if you are somebody who's got Chinese contacts or you want to venture into the Chinese market, get your thinking cap on and start writing out a few reasons of why you want to be in there, what you can contribute, who you know, because you're going to need that to be approved. Okay, so awesome excitement for us with China coming. And guys, New Zealand, I still keep pushing daily for New Zealand. New Zealand is not far away. It's going to be very close. In fact, you won't believe what happened last week. I had a customer enroll from New Zealand. I was like, are you serious? I just got an email to say this customer who's had my link for a long, long time has enrolled, and she's in New Zealand. How did that happen? But they actually have been testing the system. So this one slipped through, and we had to reverse it because we're not allowed to do that yet, but it shows you how close it is. So, hey, guys, that's it from announcements from me. Please always know I love each one of you. I support each one of you. Whatever you need, please shout. We are an amazing team here. We have got the best people in here, the best leaders, and we just want the best for every single one of you. So shout if we can help in any way. So it is my absolute privilege to introduce to you Rebecca McCourty. If you haven't met this girl, well, I tell you what, she's got a heart the size of Australia. She is such a powerful, beautiful lady. I love her husband. I love her little girl, Addison. They are such a beautiful family. We were privileged to spend some time in Hawaii together on our last incentive trip, and I got to know them as a family. And these are prize people you really want to associate yourself with. So Beck is going to train us tonight on how to start and end your day, so how to launch and land your day. Have your notepads ready, have your pens ready. Beck, it's over to you.
Let me unmute there. Okay, hi everybody. Thank you so much, Charlotte. That's just beautiful. For those of you who I haven't had the pleasure of meeting before, my name is Rebecca McQuilty. I live on the south side of Brisbane in Queensland, and I am currently a Pro 5.67. I'm almost going to be, I will be Pro 6 next month. Okay, so that's my beautiful family, my husband Ryan and my daughter Addison, and this photo was actually taken on our last incentive trip in Kauai, with LifeVantage, and wow, what an absolute trip it was. It was just fantastic. So we're certainly looking forward to the next one, and looking forward to very shortly hopefully qualifying for Bahamas as well. So all right, so let's get started. I really wanted to share with you some information that I learned that's really helping me personally, but also in my business as well. And that's really talking to you about how to launch and how to land your day in network marketing, and not just within your network marketing business, but just in general and in life. So tonight we're going to talk about habits, and also talk a little bit about belief systems, because if there was one thing that I learned at conference down in Sydney, was that many of us have these really strong limited beliefs. So I wanted to share with you some of my knowledge on that as well. For those of you who don't know my background, I am a holistic counsellor, so a lot of what I do talk about tonight does come from a counselling background as well. Okay, so launching and landing your day. How gorgeous does that look? The sunrise and the sunset. So beautiful. All right, next one. So, okay, let's talk about your morning. So how does your morning look when you get out of bed? You know, is it rushed? Are you racing around? You know, what's the first thing you do? And that's something that I really want you to sit and have a think about on this training tonight, is what your morning really looks like. You know, do you set an alarm and the alarm goes off and you snooze it and snooze it and snooze it? You get out of bed and you kind of drag yourself to go and make a cup of coffee or a cup of tea or a breakfast, or, you know, getting ready for work. You know, many of us have little ones as well and trying to get them ready. So how does that day look for you? And, you know, how can it be sort of changed up a little bit as well? So, you know, do you start your day with intent? What's the intention of your day moving forward? What does that look like? What's the direction of your day? And do you have goals? And if you do have goals, what do they look like? And do you actually think about them each morning before you even get out of bed? So before you get out of bed, here are some suggestions. Meditate. And look, that could look like half an hour, or it could look like maybe 2 minutes. It doesn't have to be a really long period of time, but just having and sitting and being quiet and still within yourself and just breathing really does help set the tone to your entire day. You know, what does your day look like? What are you wanting to achieve in that day? And who will you connect with? And see that person in your mind. We do have really good imaginations. And so if you sit and close your eyes and really visualize, you know, if you're going to have a meeting, for example, or a call with someone, picture it. How do you want it to be? What do you want the end result to be? And have a look at your vision board. For those of you who know me well, know that I love vision boards, and I love always making sure that I have everything I want on my vision board. And I also have my vision board right next to my bed, so I see it every single morning before I get up, and I see it every single night when I go to bed. And every single day, I do take the time to look at it. I look at every single picture that I've got on there, and I resonate with it. And I look at it and I read the words that are on there, and I picture myself in it. And that's really, really important. So look at your vision board and visualize yourself in there. Maybe read. You know, read one of your books. That there are so many amazing personal development, self-help books, books specifically about network marketing as well. For those of you who are only new to the business, we have some incredible books. Your first year in network marketing, also Go Pro by Eric Worre. Those two books, I probably wouldn't do too much else until I've read those. Journaling, some people really enjoy journaling. Not something I particularly enjoy, but, you know, definitely something to get your thoughts down on paper. And always giving gratitude. There's some beautiful little gratitude books that you can get as well. You know, even something simple as writing 3 things that you're grateful for. That, when you get up in the morning, sets a tone within your mind, and also an expectation from a subconscious point of view as well. And just focus on your breathing. Just really sitting with yourself and closing your eyes just for a minute or 2 or more, and just actually focusing on the breath. And again, going back to all of those things that I've already mentioned, such as visualizing and meditating as well. And revisiting your goals for the day of what your intentions are, and really moving forward with that. You know, exercise is really important. It might not be something for you in the morning. You might prefer to exercise at night, but exercising daily, or at least every, you know, 4 or 5 times a week, is really important. Breakfast, making sure you're eating a good breakfast. I know these things sound like really simple things, but it's something you really need to ask yourself. Are you doing it? Are you fueling your body every morning to go and do the things above that you wanted to do? You know, meetings and talking to people and really reaching out, and reading your mantras on your bathroom mirror. So that's something what I do while I'm getting dressed in the morning and getting ready. That is me. I just read them and go back over and go back over all of my mantras on my mirror. That's something really important. It might sound like something really simple, but you know, it can take 20 minutes to half an hour to get ready. While you're doing your hair or makeup, whatever, just read those. But also too, listening to some really good YouTube motivation as well, which is amazing. And greeting your family members. I know that this sounds like a really basic thing again, but how do you greet your family when you get out of bed? Because for some of us, it's just absolute habit that you just get up and walk past each other on morning, and you might be in a rush and everything's rush, rush, rush. So do you spend that time, you know, kissing and cuddling your family and letting them know how grateful you are for them as well? So again, really, really basic stuff, but it's something, you know, to look at, are you doing? And you might look at this and go, oh, well, yeah, you know, but I'd love to do all of that, but I don't have the time. That's a belief. So we'll get to that a little bit later. But if that is something that you do think, set your alarm 20 minutes earlier. You know, there's a great book called The Miracle Morning in Network Marketing. So maybe read that book, and it'll teach you how to get up that little bit earlier and how to really set yourself for the entire day. Okay, so what do we do at nighttime? So what is your bedtime ritual? So for me, I always sit in bed for a little bit. I actually set a bit of an environment for myself. I really like to make sure that I'm nice and comfy and relaxed going to bed. So I have a beautiful salt lamp in my bedroom. I don't have harsh lighting on. I have beautiful essential oils in my diffuser, like nice lavenders and something really soothing for me. And I just sit there and actually think about my day. I think about what I achieved that day, and I really give myself a bit of a pat on the back for the things that I've actually achieved in the day and the things that I'm grateful for. What could I have done better? You know, is there something that maybe I didn't get done that I really would have liked to have got done? Maybe it's something I need to be able to do the next day. So look again toward the next day. What does that look like? Visualize it, because it's the last things that are in your mind when you go to bed at night that will actually sink into your subconscious when you do go to sleep. So always remember that, you know, if it's something negative that you go to bed with thinking about, you really need to look at having more positive thoughts and an actual ritual when going to bed. So who will you speak to tomorrow? Have a notepad beside your bed and actually write those names down. You know, whatever your goal is for the blitz that we're doing at the moment, and whatever that number looks like, write down all of their names. And then sit for just a moment and visualize the result of those phone calls. How is that going to go? What does that look like to you? And what do you really, really want to achieve? So again, reading is another good one. That's something that's nice and relaxing before going to bed. Or listen to some audio. There is some really amazing audio out there. Earl Nightingale, oh my gosh, like there's just some, there was one that I actually watched the other day. I can't think of the name of it now, but I actually sent it to some of the leaders. It was honestly just incredible. I can send it to the team page afterwards, but wow, listening to that in itself just made me really clear about having to go back and set my vision even stronger. So you'll always get nice little prompters and notes and some really good takeaways from that audio. And sometimes you may not even know what you're looking for, but type the words into YouTube, positive motivation or whatever it is that you're wanting, and I can assure you the right thing that you need at that moment will come up for you. So again, similar to in your morning, like meditating and breathing and visualizing and staring into your vision board are things that are really important to do both morning and night. As I mentioned before, there's lots of things on YouTube, like guided meditations. That's something I do really often. Again, I will just YouTube one. I will find whatever I need at the time. Sometimes it's about abundance. Sometimes it's about mindset. Whatever you're thinking that you may need, just YouTube it. And I believe me, look at the time on it. You know, however long you think you want to meditate for, or just, you know, drop into yourself for that time. It might be 20 minutes. It might be an hour. And it doesn't matter if you fall asleep during that time, because again, it's going into your subconscious as well. So see the day ahead of you and what you would like to achieve from it. So my question to you, and I'd love for you to drop a comment in the chat, what is one action that you can change both morning and night for the next 45 days? Because when you do that, you will set yourself into a habit. So it might be getting up a little bit earlier and, you know, going for a walk. Maybe it's reading. Commit yourself to reading maybe 20 minutes in the morning, 20 minutes at night. Updating your vision board, awesome. That's awesome, Ingrid. That's so important to make sure it's relevant. And let me tell you a little quick story about exactly that. I was sitting there the other day thinking, you know, I'm happy with the way my business is going, and I really need to take it to that next level. And money kept coming to me in my mind. I'm thinking the income, you know, I need to look at the income side of things. And, you know, I went to my vision board, and there is not one thing on my vision board about actual income. It's about what it looks like, but I don't have the figure on there. Well, I very quickly updated that, and I do now. So, and awesome, Charlotte, meditating and visualizing and also updating your vision board. That's really good. Denise, you know, your perfect day, looking at what your perfect day is, that's amazing. So, and for those of you who have never done meditating, it can be a little tricky sometimes. So just be really patient with yourself, because it really is a beautiful process, you know, once you start doing it. And there's an amazing little app on my iPhone. I'm trying to think, it may be called Headspace. I think that's what it might be called. It's a free app, and you can actually do a 10-minute one every day, and it actually teaches you how to meditate. So if for those of you who haven't seen that app before, it's free, download it, and that'll actually, you know, guide you step by step on how to actually meditate. So that's awesome, guys. I'm so proud of each and every one of you for, you know, putting it out there and committing to yourself, because it's one thing to jump on these training calls and to watch and to listen. That is one thing, but I can be 100% honest with you in saying all of it really means nothing unless you actually take something from it and actually go and put it into action. So I urge each and every one of you to please, please do that. Okay, next slide, please. Okay, so let's get into the nitty-gritty about some self-limiting beliefs. So the worst of all of our beliefs are the self-limiting beliefs. If you believe yourself to be limited in some way, whether or not it's true, it becomes true for you. If you believe it, you will act as if you were deficient in that particular area of talent or skill. Overcoming self-limiting beliefs and self-imposed limitations is often the biggest obstacle standing in between you and the realization of your full potential. So I can guarantee you that every single one of us in this training has a limiting belief. Okay, next slide, please. And to whatever degree that is, you know, it's different for everybody, and some of us have some really big ones, and sometimes they're just little. But it's really, really looking at that and knowing that this is actually in some way what stops us from moving forward, particularly in our businesses. You know, sometimes you can look at a certain pattern of what you're doing, and you can do a process to a certain degree, but then it stops. Or you find certain words or word tracks actually creeping into your mind. And the easiest way to identify these beliefs is to look at what you are willing, what you will or what you don't do sometimes. So listen to that self-talk, because that's really, really important. This will often not only reveal the belief that you have, but can also uncover some subconscious beliefs that you have as well, because a lot of these beliefs actually come from when we were much, much younger. So what I'd really love for you to do is, please don't feel you have to share it with anybody. This is just for you in the comfort of your own home, which is the beauty of the training that we do, right? Is to please write down a limiting belief that you currently have. I wrote one down before. This is not actually my belief, but this is just an example for you, so that as we work through this tonight, I can show you the example along the way. So I wrote down one that says, I'm just no good at talking to people. And, you know, that might resonate with some of you. You know, I'm really just not good at explaining the product. I'm really not good at the presentation side of things. So do we all have one written down? Yeah? Okay. And for those of you who find it hard to actually write down a belief or to think of one, go back to what you actually, that self-talk that you think of all the time, or a part of your business that you feel you might not be, you know, utilizing your full potential in, and go back to that and break that down a little bit and look at, hang on a minute, why do I do that? Or why do I not do that? And whatever comes straight to you, I can guarantee you that is your limiting belief. You know, it might be as simple as, oh, you know, I need to go and call 50 people, and then your mind says, you can't do that. That's a limiting belief. So it's really just being aware of it. Okay, next slide, please. So that's all good and well, right? So what do you do about it? So what do we do with these beliefs? Well, the first thing is acknowledging it. You know, people think that when these things come creeping into their minds, and some, you know, they're not always nice, they're not nice thoughts, that we have to fight it and we have to push it away and we have to, you know, pretend that it didn't happen, because if we pretend that it doesn't happen, it's not there. Actually, it's quite the opposite. You are just making it bigger and bigger by not acknowledging it. So first and foremost, when this comes in, you think about it and you go, there it is. Acknowledge it. Let it be your friend. It's okay. It's okay to have a belief. And what I do is I see it and I go, oh, thank you. But this doesn't serve me right now. Okay, next slide, please. So we're going to work a little bit with your belief right now. And I don't know if many of you have heard of the work of Byron Katie before. It's certainly not something that you can go and facilitate yourself. It would be something that would be facilitated by a qualified counsellor, such as myself or many of my colleagues. But what you can do is this. You can inquire into it yourself. Now, the work of Byron Katie is really quite in-depth, so we won't go into the full series of it tonight, but this is just something, a few little tips for you tonight of how you can, one, uncover your belief and then what to do with it. So I want you to look at your belief. So the one I have here is, I'm just not good at talking to people. And I want you to ask yourself this: is it true? Do you know how many times a day I ask myself, is that true? And then I kind of question myself and I go, you know what? A lot of the times, actually 98% of the times, the answer is no. But sometimes ego comes in. You know, we all have that. And you go, yes, it is. Yes, that's true. And then you start attaching a story to it. And the minute your story comes into it, you know that that's ego. Okay? So I want you to then ask yourself again, can you absolutely know that that is true? So I'll give you this example, the one I was talking about before. I'm just not good at talking to people. Is that true? Yeah, I think it's true. I'm not good at talking to people. Can you absolutely know that that's true? Well, I guess I'm good at talking to my husband. Okay. I'm good at talking to my friends. So does that make your belief true that I am no good at talking to people? And the answer is no. Because I can guarantee you in some place of your life that belief that you have, it is not true. It is just your mind and you are not your mind. And that's the beautiful thing. This can be changed. Now, one thing I want you to think about though is how do you react? And what happens to you when you do believe that thought? So when I believe the thought, and again, this is not mine, but I'm using it as the example, oh, I'm just no good at talking to people. Well, it doesn't make me feel very confident. It would make me feel kind of a bit lonely. It would make me feel like I'm not enough, that I'm not good enough to go and talk to people. What if I muck it up? What if I get it wrong? What if I tell them the wrong information? Can you see how the story of what we believe can just explode out? And all of these feelings are not very nice feelings at all. So let me ask you this. Who would you be without that thought? Would anybody like to share in the chat what that actually looks like? Like, who would you be without that? Because I know without this belief, if I'm just no good at talking to people, I would feel lighter. I would feel better. Yeah, even more awesome. I like it. Happier. Yeah, Katie. Yes, superstar. Sexy, happy, awesome. That's it, exactly. You know, we are not our belief. And the reality of it is that it's 99.9% of the time not true. So you get the option to choose. So just by asking yourself those 4 questions, and actually the last one I love because looking at who you would be without that thought really makes you free. It actually allows you to be who you actually are without all of the stories that our mind likes to attach to it. Okay? All right, next slide, please. So I hope that helps. So guess what? We get to rewire our brain. It's actually possible, would you believe? So I like to use this analogy where we've got 2 tracks. Now that one track on the left, you can see it's really, really well worn, okay? So let me think of an example. I'm walking in a shopping center and I run into a friend of mine from high school and we get chatting and, you know, how are you and da-da-da and what are you up to these days? And then my belief comes in and says, you're not good at talking to people. You shouldn't be telling them this. You're not good enough. And the story comes in. Now, this is a walk in the park, right? See that track? It's really, really well worn. If this is my belief, this is what comes to me. It just clicks like this. It's just automatic. And that's what I will think automatically. Well, again, acknowledge it. You can see on the left here, I say, drop the stories. Drop the story of, oh, I'm no good at talking to this person. Or they'll think I'm a goose. Or what if they reject me? What if they say no? They might even not want to hear what I have to say. And what if they think I'm selling to them and I'm not even trying to sell to them? I'm just telling them about how passionate I am. But what if my passion comes across as I'm trying to sell to them? And can you see how draining that is and how our minds and our thoughts get carried away? So what you can do is acknowledge it and see it and go, I see you, thank you, but you don't serve me anymore. So let's reframe it and engage in a positive thought. So that track on the right-hand side, it's kind of a bit blurry. That's probably my use of the photo, by the way, but it actually works perfectly. See, it looks like I meant to do that, right? But this is your new track. It's like a ski run. You get to choose a new ski run. So rather than turning around and saying, oh, I'm just no good at talking to them, I don't really know like the right pitch, I don't know really what to say, I turn around and I say, you know what, I'm going to do it anyway. Because guess what? I'm not going to get better unless I do. And then the positive affirmation starts coming through when I start talking about, you know, what I'm doing now as a living, and I'm really passionate about helping people. The person I'm talking to is probably going to turn around and say, oh, Beck, that's so amazing. I'm so pleased for you that you found something that you really love and something that really resonates with you. So that's positive reinforcement. So is it practice? Yes. Is it going to be, do you just have to run down that, you know, ski run, the new one once and then it's set? No. It's practice and practice. And the more you choose not to go down that side of the good side that you see that's easy, and the more you choose that other way, the more you will run that ski run, or you will run that road, and it will become the normal. But it's not going to become the normal until we keep doing it. So persistence beats resistance, right? That's what we're taught, and it's the same with our mind. So it's catching yourself, acknowledging it, reframing it, and then letting it go. You don't have to think about it after that. But then when it comes up again, you do the same thing every single time. Every single time, you just keep doing it. You know, if you are talking to someone about the business and they turn around to you at the end of it and say, oh, no, thanks, I'm not interested. That's not about you. That's about them. You know, maybe they're just a no for now. Maybe they need some more information. And that's where we can learn and go, okay, well, what could I do better next time? What could I add to that? But pat yourself on the back for getting out there and doing it in the first place, right? So I hope that that makes sense, and I hope that that helps when it comes to your limiting beliefs. And now you really will start to see them that little bit more and know that not to push them away. Be okay that they're there. They are not who you are. They are simply a thought. So create and find evidence of your new belief. You know, what does that look like? You know, it might be that, let's use the example of diet. You know, I want to lose weight and I want to be fit and healthy, you know, and I want to drop 5 kilos. Okay, well, where's the evidence of your new belief? Well, I am fit and healthy. Where is the evidence of that? I'm getting up half an hour earlier. I'm going for a walk. I'm eating good food. Or it could be about a business presentation. You know, I'm an amazing presenter. How are you going to prove that? So because once you start this new belief, your mind is going to look for reasons that it is true or it isn't true. It's like when you go and buy a car, right? Or you're looking at a new car and you choose that, you know, you're going to go and buy a new red, you know, Toyota Corolla, and the next thing you know, you're seeing red Toyota Corollas everywhere because your mind is looking for that. So your mind will look for the evidence, good, bad, or indifferent. So change it to a positive thought and then go looking for the evidence. So it could be, I have a positive mindset. Okay, well, your mind's going to go, do you? Where's that? Go and read. You know, look at your YouTube videos, listen, do all of those things that enhance and empower your positive belief. And whatever you do, don't buy into the story of those negative beliefs, because what you focus on will always grow stronger. So if you focus on the negative, I can assure you that is what you will get. If you focus on the positive, it works the same way. So that's why I say, you know, look at your vision board, look at all of those positive things and really entrench them in your life and make it a daily action. Because once your mind sees that this is the normal, this is your normal, it will just be normal. So my way of living is I like to exercise, I like to be healthy, and I love positive mindset. You know, jealousy. Jealousy is not something that ever comes into my mind. And the reason for that is because I feel there is no comparison in the world. There is nothing that can compare me to anybody else. So I will never ever compare myself to something that's not comparable. And there's nothing out there comparable. So my mind says, jealousy, no such thing. And that is how my belief. And so my belief, I then go out in the world and look for that. So I could go and see, you know, a beautiful young girl who's a size 8 training. Do I admire her for what she does? Yes. Am I jealous of, you know, in a negative way? Absolutely not. In fact, I look at her and go, wow, what an inspiration. It's so amazing. You know, I look at Charlotte, she's Pro 7. Am I jealous of that? Or, you know, oh, you know, I want to be there too, and, you know, think of it in a negative sense? No way. I want to partner myself with someone who is inspirational in her own right and who empowers me and encourages me to be the better version of myself. And I look at her, and when she rank advanced to Pro 7, I was jumping for joy up and down, because this woman works so hard and I'm so proud of what she does. And we should all be proud of what we do within ourselves as well. So please remember, there is absolutely no comparison. Okay, next slide. So the beauty begins the moment you decide to be yourself. And you know what? Be who you are and be the best version of who you are. Your mind is not who you are, so don't worry about those beliefs. Acknowledge them and say thank you. Thank you for thinking of me, right? Because sometimes they do it as a protection mechanism, and let them go. And start rewiring your mind, and it will really, really make a world of difference. So guys, I hope that you enjoyed that training tonight. I hope that each and every one of you really take something from that and, you know, go and make that change to your morning and to your night, and really entrench it into your way of living. It doesn't have to be all of it. You know, please don't be overwhelmed by the information, but add some bits in. It might be, you know, you might have written down 5 things you could do of a morning and 5 things you do at night, and you might add one of them in each week, and that's okay. Because what it's doing is it's really setting a new tone for your morning, and it's really setting a new tone for your night as well. So guys, that's it from me tonight, and I hope you enjoyed our training, and I look forward to seeing you all again soon. That's it from us for now. Thanks, guys.